Welcome to the live streaming, the Andre The Beast Show. You know what? We've been doing this since noon.
Woo! It's an all-day affair. Easy like Sunday afternoon now.
And I'm easy. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another live stream of the Andre The Beast Show with my co-host, Yolanda, the brand, the Prince expert in the house.
Smith. Hey, what's happening, y'all? We are back live again. We are excited. This is like a show number 3 for today. And man, let me just tell you something. Sometimes in life, you have to be out of your comfort zone, right? Mm-hmm. So now I'm a little out of my comfort zone because we have.
Wait a minute, let me hear my song. Welcome to the comfort zone.
Because we have some dynamic women with us today.
Yeah.
And I'm over here feeling a little, intimidated.
You should be feeling a little strong.
A little intimidated because they are strong.
That's right.
We got Gina Woods in the house, Amy Gaskins, Cheryl Mears, and Gina Jones. Welcome to the show, ladies.
Where are they at?
Where they at?
Hey, where's all the girls at?
Hi, Andre.
Hey, where's the other one at? Where's Cheryl?
I'm here.
Hey, Cheryl, and where's Amy at?
Amy.
Amy's here.
Where's she at? I can't see her. Is she there?
Right here.
Pop that screen,
I see
baby.
her waving.
I don't see her at all.
I see her at the top.
She's got to speak up for it to switch over.
Oh, speak up, Amy.
I'm here.
Okay.
I can hear her, but she's not switching over.
I don't know.
I'm switching over.
Okay. Well, we'll get back to Amy in a minute. So let me explain to the viewers what this live show is about today. We want to showcase the continuing saga of the Expendables. And you remember when I did Expendables about my bodybuilding career and pay tribute to the men and women of this sport.
Yes.
From my generations to current generations, and what better way?
Your generation, what was that back in the 60s?
Those are classified documents.
I'm just checking.
Those are classified documents. But as a professional bodybuilder, I've been in this sport for so many years, and I've seen the ins and out of the sport. I've seen it change and the involvement of it, especially with the social media. You know, every time you're on social media, every female and every male is in fitness and working out. And I love it. Don't get me wrong. I love it. But there's also some behind-the-scenes things that people don't know: the blood, the sweat, the tears, the politics that comes along with this.
There's politics in bodybuilding?
Those are classified documents.
I hope we're going to be able to dish some dirt today or what?
Right.
Yeah.
So our first guest we got on here right now is Cheryl. Cheryl, tell the viewers a little bit about your journey, and then we're going to go to the other females. But let's start briefly with a little bit about who you are and your journey real quick.
Because I want to know
My
first
journey?
how'd you get there? Yes, and then what you doing? Yep.
Okay, mine revolves a lot around chronic illness because I've had a chronic illness for like over 30 years. And it was about in 2015, 2016 that I was able to actually start working out and feeling great. And some of my friends said, hey, we're competing. Why don't you compete? So I said, sure, why not? So Gina probably knows about Europa in Orlando. And I went to my coach and I said 3 weeks before show, okay? And I was completely natty, okay? I said, I want to compete at Europa. And she's probably looking at her phone at this text. It's like, what the fuck is she talking about? I mean, anyone who knows about bodybuilding, what I did was the stupidest thing on earth.
Right.
But she could tell I was very passionate about it. And so she goes, okay, we're going to get you on stage. So I was doing like 120 minutes of cardio a day, working out, just sweat, right?
Right.
So I actually get there and I got third. I was figure at the time, and I got third in novice. I don't know how I got so lucky on that. So I was just like so happy with that. So 2017, I switched over coaches and I said, I want to get really serious about this sport. I really want to get into it and I want to become a pro. And unfortunately, after 3 months of training to go to nationals, I got triple negative breast cancer. So I had to pull back and fight that. So in the middle of the year, I finished, with all my treatments with cancer and stuff. And I said to my coach, I said, we're doing a show. I don't care about prepping. And having like a progress season. I said, I just want to go on stage. I just went through cancer. I don't care how I look. Let's get on this stage. So at the end of the year, I did 2 shows, which I did very well in. And then in 2018, we went for my pro card. And in the middle of prepping for it, I went, I like figure, but physique just seemed better for me. Right. So in the middle of prepping, we switched over to physique. So I went to nationals, masters nationals. At that time, I hit 50 years old. So I did 35, 40, 45, and 50. I said to myself, I am not going all this way without a pro card. So I did all 4 of them. Age groups, and I ended up getting my pro card in 45 and in 50, which was just, amazing. Right. But then my health took a turn in 2019, and I did compete in 2019, but when you look at my pictures, something just wasn't right. And then in 2020, my health seemed to get a little bit better, but then unfortunately I was prepping for a show. I was 5 weeks out. I was feeling okay. I came home one day and worst pain in my abs ever. And I was rushed to the emergency room, and I woke up a week later with 3 emergency surgeries, most of my intestines removed, and a permanent ileostomy. I went down to skin and bones. I sent you guys a picture kind of that. It shows where I was in 2019, what happened to me 2 months after that surgery, because I was 155 solid muscle. And 2 months after I left the hospital, you couldn't even recognize me. I was like 120 pounds, thin as could be. I couldn't walk. I could hardly talk. I almost died. They didn't expect me to live. So that middle picture was the first picture I took after the ordeal happened. And then the picture on the far side is me about a few weeks ago. And you could see that I'm definitely making a great comeback. Right. And that's where I'm at right now. So at the beginning of 2021, I was able to start training very slowly. I felt so bad, guys. I walked into the gym. No one wanted to talk to me. Not because they didn't like me, but no one knew what happened. I just left the face of the earth. I was ripped, shredded, looking great. And they see me looking like this weak person. They didn't know what to say. So everyone just left me alone. And the first time going into the gym I cried, because I couldn't even lift up a barbell. Mm-hmm. Like there was a barbell standing upwards and I couldn't lift it that way, but I could put it over my neck. So I had to have somebody put it over my neck so I could start trying to lift again. And it's been amazing since then, because I started getting stronger and stronger. And then all of a sudden I went from being this little weakling to looking good to being, damn, girl, you're going to be a bodybuilder. You're actually going to get on stage this year. And this is amazing. And the thing that gets to me is the picture competing all the way on my left was the show I did in 2019. It was the show I was aiming for in 2020, right. And it's the show that I plan to do in 2021. So this is very emotional for me. Wow. And I think I'm going to look so much friggin' better than I did in 2019.
I can see the
yeah, you're on your way. Yeah. But you know what? Kudos to you. Girl, do you realize this takes such tenacity? This takes such courage. This is amazing. Because first of all, even before you really started having the last issue, What you told me is I'm not afraid to take risk. I'm hearing it. You were taking risk after risk, going for it. That's amazing in itself.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm a risk taker, but I do it safely. I don't do it just, I just want to put caution to the wind kind of thing. But I truly believe in bodybuilding and fitness. It makes you a better person. It's going to increase your longevity as long as you do everything right. Like Gina was saying about how she was always, like doing the Stairmaster backwards, saving her joints and stuff. You have to do it smart, and that's the thing. But unfortunately, life just kept hitting at me.
Yeah.
And I just said, you can hit me as hard as you want. I'm hitting back. And that's why I kept going. So for me to get back on stage in November, it's not for the trophy. It's not for a win.
No.
I just want to show people when life hits you down, you've got to get back up and you got to keep trying. And I have so many people messaging me and following me. It's ironic. It's like I got a lot of bodybuilders following me, but a ton more non-bodybuilders followed me, telling me they've been through cancer.
It's amazing.
They've been through this,
Yes.
And that's where my my spirit is, my mindset is to inspire people. Because I've got to mention this one thing, and I'll let someone else talk because I know I'm monopolizing this. But when I woke up from surgery, I really couldn't talk. I didn't even really realize where I was. I knew I was in a hospital, but I didn't even know like my intestines were removed and all this kind of stuff. And I remember in the background, the nurses or whoever, I didn't see them, saying, poor thing, she's probably not going to last through the night, and that got to me. And I had they put the phone on my chest, and I remember touching the buttons because I couldn't even see the phone. And I actually called two people. One was my coach and one was my daughter. And they both started consoling me, like, you're going to be fine and all that kind of stuff, because they knew what was going on before I knew what was going on.
Right.
And and this is what's so important about mindset, because you really need it when times are tough. And what happened was I immediately started telling them, I'm getting through this. Not only am I going to live, not only am I going to walk out of this damn hospital, I'm going to get back to the gym and I'm going to get back on stage. And I'm saying this basically that should have been on my deathbed. So what I get at with mindset is you truly got to believe in what you're talking about.
Preach it, girl.
Don't just say it. But if you truly mean it, when you're really down and out, your mindset's going to kick in, and that's what keeps you going. So like when you're going through prep and you're tired, but you still work out and you still do the cardio and you still follow the meal plan because your mindset is solid and you know what the outcome is going to be at the end. So for me, after I survived and I came home and I was able to start walking again and so on, that first day in the gym was one of the most painful moments in my life, but I knew I had to do that to get to where I needed to go. So you go through those little pains in life and you just remember these are temporary to get you where you need to go.
Beast mode, girl. Beast mode.
You know
That's
what?
awesome.
That's totally awesome. And you know what? Cheryl, we're going to come back to you because there's more to this story that you share with me, and I want people to know that journey. Ladies and gentlemen, we're live at the Andre The Beast Crayton Show with my host, Yolanda.
Yes, share, like, comment. We want to hear from you because at the end of the day, everybody has a story, a journey. You just look at people and you just assume all kind of things. You don't know what the hell is going on with somebody, what they've been through, what they going through, you just don't know. The story is real, but that was awesome. I'm just going to tell you right now, I got chill bumps because at the end of the day, to see somebody really persevere, be resilient. I'm a branding expert, and I'm always talking about the first thing is the mindset. And if you've got a growth mindset, you can achieve your highest potential if you believe you can. Okay, who's next up? Crystal Woods. Crystal, let's hear your story. I got excited.
Hold on a minute. Now, when we first started, did she not say, I'm out of the comfort zone? Now,
Cheryl get a match that.
Yeah, now Cheryl got her all hyped up. She took the stage for me. Like,
We've got a comment coming in from Hope Day saying Cheryl's story is incredible, all caps, just wow. So we got people watching on Facebook and commenting, so make sure you keep that stuff going.
Okay, so who's the next person?
Crystal Woods.
Crystal, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
All right, Crystal, we talked a little bit, we talked in depth, and your story is definitely impactful. All of you guys' story are impactful. But I also want people to know that you know, we're getting into that later. Right now, this is the introduction part, and people need to understand that you guys aren't just beautiful women, but you guys have gone through something, and you're strong. You overcome perseverance, your criticism, whole nine yards. Take me down that. I'm gonna let you do it. You know how to do it now. Go.
No, I'm just saying we would love. I'm just so excited. Yeah.
Take us down that road, Crystal.
Okay, well, to start, I am an everyday average person making a difference with a big heart. So I'll start with that. I'm a registered dental assistant in a pediatric general private practice. I work with special needs. That's my day job. I'm a posing coach on my own time, and I run a team with my fiance for competition prep.
All right.
So that's what I do. Part of who I am. I'm a mother of 2 and a grandmother of 1.
Dang. Grandmother. What y'all over there doing?
It's in the water.
I'm getting ready to say, let me take a sip.
I don't have that water.
The gym is the fountain of youth. It's the closest thing we have to it. So that's the key right there, honestly.
So tell us your story. You gave me a story about your childhood and growing up and how all that led you to so much strength, and then you took that strength and you harnessed it and you found a new career in conjunction with what you're doing in the love of this sport. And on your social media page, you're climbing rocks and jumping mountains. I mean, I'm like, man, I thought she was a bodybuilder. Next thing I know, you're climbing, rocks and stuff, dancing on poles.
Oh my, okay.
You got to do all the things. Life is short.
Okay, so
when I was 6 years old, my parents separated and got divorced, and my mother had full custody and my father had visitation. And he kidnapped me on one of his weekends. And we were in Arizona, took off, ran to Texas. And at the age of 6, he started sexually abusing me. Through the course of my childhood, I was sexually abused, physically abused, mentally abused, emotionally abused. It ran the whole gambit. Now, you can imagine at the age of 6, this is your father, so you know, what he does, you assume is okay, even though it doesn't feel right. You're brainwashed, so you don't say anything. As I got older, I knew things were wrong. I was terrified of my father. He's dead now. He was the devil incarnate. He would have killed me without, a second thought. So I kept my mouth shut, and for a long time, things went on. Things kind of came to a head when I was about 15 years old. I was in junior high. I had a little boyfriend. He didn't like that. He propositioned me. He said, hey, you give me sex a couple of times a week, and I'll give you your freedom to come and go as you please. And I looked him in the face and I said, fuck you. And he said, if you're here when I get back, you're dead. So I quickly hauled ass out of there, and he reported me as a runaway, and I was picked up by the police 2 weeks later. Over the course of the 2 weeks I was gone, he had pulled a gun on my little boyfriend to try to find me. And that got him in trouble later down the road. 2 weeks after I had ran away, the police caught me, brought me back to my father. I said, hey, there's pictures of me. And they went into the house. They tried to find them. They couldn't. He had already moved them. They thought I was just a teenage girl trying to be with her boyfriend. They took me back to him. He held me at gunpoint to take me to a juvenile detention center the next day. And I don't know if you've ever heard the expression, the devil you know is better than the devil you don't.
Yes, I have.
I was terrified of juvenile hall. I'd heard a lot of stories, so I shed some crocodile tears and I stayed with him for another year. where the abuse continued. And when he would abuse me, he would tell me that's how he shows me he loves me. So he ended up going to jail. I was on my own. I ended up in a shelter. I became a ward of the court. I was in a group home. I left. I'd been on my own since I was almost 17. I became a young mother. I've always been very chatty and very forthcoming and open. I've never been ashamed of what happened to me. I've always shared it. Later down the road, I did meet back up with my father. I had a long conversation with him. I said everything I needed to, good, bad, and indifferent. I told him I forgave him, that I would never forget, but that I forgave.
Oh my
and
goodness.
Then instead of just forgiving in words, I forgave in action. And he was present at the birth of my son. And he died in 2006 with me on the phone with him in hospice. That's the short version of my story.
So let me ask you this, though. Did he ever apologize to you, or did he really in his mind think that there was nothing wrong?
He did. I don't know. Andre had asked me this when we spoke before, if I, thought anything had happened to him. I don't know. I would like to think that that wasn't just who he was. I would like to think that it was due to something that had happened to him, but I don't know. I can't speculate on that. But he did apologize, and there was a part of him, he cried. And there's a part of me, and it's very hard to explain if you haven't been through something like that. People think I'm crazy, but there's a part of me that still cares about that man that was supposed to be my father.
Right.
And felt bad for him.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't like him. I didn't like him. I didn't like who he was. Given the opportunity, I would have shot him. He at one point had a gun in my mouth. The last year before he went to jail, we slept in the same room in two separate beds, and I would often lay there at night contemplating the courage to get up and grab the gun underneath his pillow, but I knew he would wake up before I could grab it and he would shoot me. So I never did it. But I always knew that at the age of 12, I'm currently writing my memoirs, and at the age of 12, I titled my book, A Child's Not So Sweet Life, and it's the title I stuck with. And I knew that I had to go through what I did in life for me to be able to write about it so that I could help other people that have gone through it.
Yes.
And my whole purpose in life is to speak about it, to help other people realize that this isn't it's not who you are. You can be happy, you can be healthy, you can be successful, you can have a healthy sex life, you can have and do all the things. This is just a part of your life, and you're stronger than that.
That's awesome.
And then fitness came into it, and I realized that my whole purpose in life was a multi-platform. So my purpose is to finish my book, not so much to sell books. It's not about selling books. It's about public speaking, having engagements with children that are going through it, adults that have been through it and need help how to navigate it. Just by having off-the-cuff, raw conversations like this. And then through bodybuilding, I found that a lot of people come to bodybuilding because they have a story. They don't just find it because they just love to lift. Something got them lifting. And through the community of bodybuilding, I've come across a lot of people who have been through what I have and haven't quite found how to be confident in themselves yet. So through bodybuilding and through what I've been through, my purpose in life is to help people overcome it and find their happiness and their success.
That's awesome. Man, these stories, okay, I don't know if I can go two more.
You know what? Let's take this thing to remind people this is the Andre The Beast Crayton Show. We're live. Subscribe. Like.
Share.
Wait.
Comment.
She's missing her cue. Let's do this again. You ain't getting no check this week.
Darn it.
This is Andre
I
The
just
Beast
need a
Crayton Show.
workout.
Guys, please tune in, like, subscribe, review. We got a great lineup of guests on here. Beautiful women in the bodybuilding community. They're sharing remarkable stories.
Yes.
I've always respected the sport that I'm in, but more importantly, I respect these individuals, these men and these women that are now able to come forth with their story because they want to be heard. Nobody can tell your story better than who?
That's right. You
You.
got to be the author of your story, the CEO of your brand. So that brings us to Cheryl. I mean, now we did Cheryl. That would bring us to Amy, wouldn't it?
I think, is Amy on with us? Is Amy here?
I don't know. Amy, there. I haven't seen an Amy sighting
see
yet.
her.
I'm here. There she is. Okay, where?
No, that's Cheryl. What? That's Gina. Where's Amy?
Okay, Amy, you just got to start talking. Are you on camera?
I am.
There she is.
There you are. Okay.
Here.
Amy, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Take us down that road. You've heard you heard Crystal and you heard
Cheryl. Yes.
Tell us your journey real quick before we go into a little bit more about you guys' career. About the sport. Tell us what you went through.
Well, my name's Amy, and I'm a mom and a wife, and I've got 2 beautiful daughters, 3 grandbabies. I was 51 last week. My story, how I got into bodybuilding, it's kind of an odd one. I suffered with an eating disorder from a very young age, severe anorexia, probably from the time I was maybe 16 years old. I am lucky to be here. I got myself down to probably about 60 pounds.
Whoa.
And it was awful. The turning point for me with many, many years of it was I had gone through a divorce. I was about 28 years old, and I was in a bookstore and I was studying. I was in college for sports nutrition and dietetics. And I literally got up to get something to drink and hit the floor. Did not remember anything, just hit the floor. I made it to my car where I called a girlfriend, and I was really out of it for a long time. Couldn't really remember where I was, what I was doing. I just happened to be fumbling through my phone and called my friend, and she happened to be a nurse. And she said, "Stay where you're at, I'm on my way." So she came and brought a doctor that was a friend of hers, and I had no health insurance. I was single. I would not go to the hospital. And she's like, "Look, you've had a stroke. You've got to go to the hospital." I was like, "Nope, I'll be fine. I've got a test in the morning for college. I can't miss it." So I ended up just picking up, going home, making it through the night, going to school the next day, going through my testing. Make a long story short, about a year later, I met my now husband, and he ended up talking me into going inpatient for the eating disorder. He said, "Look, you can't get a hold on this. It's been years. You've got to do something." So I ended up going inpatient for a whole summer down to Miami. And at that time, it was the best thing for me. I fought and fought and fought, did not want to go. I ended up going, and in the interim made some very, very close relationships. And when I got out of there, things were better for a while, but then I started going back down that slope again. And at that time, somebody that I was seeing for the eating disorder said, "Have you ever thought about lifting weights?" And of course, I was like every other girl back then. I was like, "I'm not lifting weights. I'll get huge. Are you crazy? No way. I'm not lifting weights." So I just kept up with my cardio. And then it was shortly after that, my husband was into weightlifting, and he talked me into doing it. And from the first time I stepped in the gym, that was it. My whole mindset changed. I was like, that's it. All of a sudden, I did not want to be thin anymore. I went in that gym, and just an overwhelming feeling came over me to get strong. I was want to get strong. I was like, instead of watching the scale weight go down, I want to start watching the weights the number on the weights go up. I want to get strong. I'm sick and tired of people looking at me as little thin Amy that's probably not going to make it, blah, blah, blah. So I just really got into it, and that's where my passion started. I knew right then, with my schooling in nutrition and then going through the eating disorder, I knew that I was meant to help other women in the industry. And that was the start of Amy Gaskins Fitness right there, where I said, I'm going to get through this. I'm going to help other women. And now my husband and I go back to the eating disorder clinic once a year, and we talk to other people that are going through this. I tell my story about how I used fitness to, get over the eating disorder and to get stronger and healthier. I still suffer a lot of health issues from all the years I put my body through that. But I think for everything I've been through, I'm doing great. And I've got women all over the country. I coach women with eating disorders, women without eating disorders, whether it's to get to the stage or just lifestyle. It's my passion. And I feel I went through it all for a reason, and I'd go through it all again to be where I am today.
Just amazing. Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
The Andre The Beast Crayton Show, streaming live.
I think this might be right up there. I'm telling you, this is incredible. If you talk about really elevating to the next level, and how do you, because this is what they'll tell you. Sometimes you have to go through something, right? To get to something. And it's amazing to see. We're 3 for 4. Gina, I can't imagine what you gonna say, because
don't put her on yet. Don't put her on yet.
It's a journey. It's a little different.
But this is amazing. It is, because I will tell you, I would have been the first to be like, I'm not doing all that bodybuilding. You see me, I'm over here. I call myself fluffy.
Are you comfortable now?
I'm comfortable from a mindset, but I think I need to get my ass in the gym.
Ladies and gentlemen, subscribe, rate, pass it on to your friends.
Said rate. It's called share, like, comment,
this one
and
needs
subscribe.
to be rated.
And also rate. Also rating.
Oh, you
There's
can
rating.
rate? There's a rating for that?
5 stars. Give us 5 stars, people.
Oh, help, Jason.
I'm telling you, the next guest, we gonna get those rates, because Gina gonna make sure that they go off the charts.
You guys are amazing, by the way.
I'm gonna tone it down just a little bit.
Oh my God, Gina Jones to the stage, because this is amazing. You guys are amazing. And you know what? Just thank you for being willing to come on. We are live. So if you guys are listening to us now, please share with somebody, because again, you never know what someone else's story is like and how they have found tools, resources, and just the resilience to overcome the adversity that they've had in their life.
And somebody's story can help you.
Yes.
No, let me rephrase that.
No.
It may not, their story may not affect you, but it can affect somebody else. So share and subscribe and send it to somebody else.
That's what I'm saying.
Is
yeah.
that what you're saying?
Yeah.
So you're comfortable?
I'm comfortable with these girls. We talking, but I still need to get my ass in the gym, because they making me feel bad.
Now, hey, you hear her. So Monday, do I expect to get a phone call? Jay, I want you talking about Jay. I overslept. You had me on the air too long.
Oh gosh! All right, Gina, you're coming up next. Tell us a little bit about you and what got you over into the bodybuilding world.
My name's Gina Jones. Let's go back to the late 1970s.
Let's go back. Who was playing back then?
Go back. Boston and Journey.
One love is the fire.
Anyway, my father was a hellfire and brimstone Nazarene preacher. Wow. Not once saved, always saved, sin in word, thought, and deed. Couldn't listen to rock music, couldn't go to movies, my sister never wore pants to school. Small Midwestern community university town. I have a kind of a history of abuse like the other ladies. Most of us that work out, we decided to do this because of what happened to us. We wanted to empower ourselves. We wanted to get stronger. And once we got a taste of it, it was like, yes, we can control how we feel, how we look. We can be as strong as my brother and sister who bullied me and hold me down, tickled me, and all this crazy stuff. In 1980, I couldn't take disco dance in high school because it was against our religion. And my dad used to go to the schools and talk to the kids in human relations about finding Jesus and burning in hell for the rest of your life. God bless my parents. I love them to death. They've been married 65 years. Got a great relationship with them. So I went to my PE teacher, and this is when I was 16. Can I get out of school at 1 o'clock and go work out at the local gym, 21st Century Health Spa, which back then women were there Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Men were there Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays. So for 3 semesters in high school, back in the early 80s, I was able to go out. I got on stage in 1980, American Federation of Women's Bodybuilding. I played third in the short clip in LA. For me, I was always Midwest or the West, Rocky Mountain region. Bodybuilding was something to keep me grounded here on planet Earth. My spiritual neurology, because of the way I was raised, what's right, wrong, hand of God, you name it, whatever you want to call it, is burnt deep into every cell of my body. Mm-hmm. Weightlifting kept me grounded. It kept me focused. It kept me from falling off into the pit many, many times. I moved to Las Vegas in 1999, turn of the century. We are now the Mecca here. This is when we all moved here. So I got to observe our sport. You know, the figure girls, the physique infiltrate us at a mass scale here. But let's go back to the 80s. I got married in 1985 to a petroleum engineer. He tutored me through all the hard sciences, physics, calculus, chemistry, everything. It was awesome. Unfortunately, Chevron implemented random drug testing in the late 80s, Colorado, for pot. Couldn't smoke pot anymore. Go figure. And then alcohol issues, and we just decided to separate ways in the early 90s. I was in central western Colorado. I jumped over the hill in 1995 and did the USAs. But we're going to go back to the 90s. I'm prepping you here. 1989, I first qualified for nationals as a lightweight at Jeff Taylor's Rocky Mountain Victory Cup. 1990, I went and did 4 shows, kind of like what I think Cheryl did. I won the Wyoming Open. I won the AAU Colorado. And then I placed second in the NPC Colorado the next week, of course. And then I won the Junior America 2 weeks later, period. I didn't understand politics back then, but then I didn't really go to Venice. I bodybuild because I loved it and I loved what I felt like and it was just awesome back then. Remember, all we had were magazines. Magazines made the megastars, not Instagram, not anything else. So when you dealt with politics before the internet, it was hardcore. Yeah. You didn't piss people off. So I slowly started to get in good graces again. I did the Western Colorado, which was a non-qualifier. And then I qualified, again at the different NPC shows. I got divorced. So when I showed up at the 1995 USAs, they didn't realize who I was. I did get first call out. I did place 6th. But what I witnessed backstage in the 90s, before all the med spa stuff, before the laser hair removal, made me make a decision that I didn't want to get that big. What I saw before all these things that we have available for us today, I wasn't comfortable with. So I said, I'm going to just compete when I feel like it. I'm going to keep perfecting my body. And here I am, almost 58 years old. I came out of retirement in 2017, walked on stage at Jay's Cutler's show. It's the video here. Pizza the week before, milk, no diuretics, just walked in, got shredded, ripped, old school, trained my ass off, and I won.
Wow.
They let me free. I won the bodybuilding division. I placed 5th in the physique. Seriously.
Is that the politics?
I never competed in physique before, so I told Pat Sampson and everybody, I go, let's see where you put me. So everybody I beat in bodybuilding, the other 3-4 girls, they beat me in physique.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Which I understood because, they're trying to set a precedence back then. And, I'm a little too square. My glutes weren't elongated enough. My waist wasn't quite tight enough, which is what happens with bodybuilders. We thicken out from the inside and we lose that shape. So we have to go from figure physique to bodybuilding.
Gotcha. Okay, I want to know what happened. What you said something about what was going on behind stage. Wait a minute, I'm still stuck back there. You said with hair.
Unfortunately, in our sport, we were introduced to anabolic steroids, and yes, they are a felony-controlled substance. Let's get that out of the way. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, we use them to create this physique, to get stronger, to get bigger and everything. Unfortunately, one of the side effects are male side effects, lower voice, Lower voice happens because your vocal cords are cords. They are muscles. They thicken with use. Just like guitar strings, the little one is high, the thicker one is lower, the lower the resonance.
Gotcha.
The facial hair. We have laser hair removal now. I mean, the girls were shaving their faces backstage at 8 o'clock in the morning from here all the way up. We didn't know how to manage the unfortunate side effects from the drugs that were introduced to us in the sport.
Okay, that makes more sense. Okay, all righty then.
Does that help?
Yeah.
So I compete now because I enjoy it. I'm pushing 60, and I'm in the best shape of my life, internally, externally, mentally. It's awesome. It's been a heck of a journey, and mine's been a little different because I've been in it for 40 years. Mm-hmm. I've seen it from the beginning, and I'm working on a book, but I want to deal with the mental health issues in our sport.
Gotcha.
We've got serious issues when you get put on these hormones, and I'm going to be brutal with y'all, and people know me on Facebook. 200 milligrams of testosterone a week is all it takes for gender reassignment from a female to a male. So all you ladies out there that are sitting there, and you know what you've done, you basically are chemically a man by the time you get on stage. And then your coach says, hey, stop everything. And then you turn back into the woman. And if you're in recovery, sometimes you relapse. I live in Las Vegas. I see this all the time. And this is one of my things I speak a lot about, because the local competitors, the people you don't hear about that are getting sick and that are falling off the planet, that are introduced to these high levels of hormones and the other drugs. I've probably buried a half a dozen or more in the past 5 years of people I've just met here in the gym who fell into that mental cycle.
And is it addictive?
Yeah.
Oh,
yes.
Because
physiology or
both, because you're getting stronger. You like the way your muscles are getting. It's about strength. I mean, it's an impact.
This is how I talk, and a lot of people know me, and Andre knows me, so I'm going to just go.
Right.
When you're a woman and you've been abused and bullied and manipulated and raped and molested, and you find male hormones and you find low levels of androgens, and you find out you're just as strong as any man, your intellect, your brain, your neurology does change. You are more scientific, intellectual. You can look at the psychological ramifications and gender reassignment. That's the place to research if you really want it. That's the only research available for women who do steroids, is to go in the transition community. I'm biologically female. I live in Las Vegas. I've had this conversation with a lot of transgender people, and they don't know half the stuff I know that I learned from the bodybuilding community.
Gotcha. So if you were taking the steroids, you said it only takes 200 for reassignment, 200 milligrams or something. What would the average bodybuilder be taking then?
10 times that. Anywhere from 5 to 10 times that.
A day?
A week.
Okay.
A week.
Because it's injected, right?
It's injectable.
Yeah, gotcha.
And what we did 20, 30 years ago was about a fifth or a tenth less than what they're doing now. They're doing anywhere from 5 to 10 times more than we did in the 80s and early 90s. Ooh. It used to be training, nutrition, cardio, bust your ass, and if you needed gear, you used gear. Now it's gear. Let's sell them a workout. Let's sell them a diet. And if you do enough of this with the thyroid, the clenbuterol, the Lasix, and all the other diuretics and stuff, you will get in shape. But you won't be able to do it without all the chemicals. I cruise into shows, and I've used low-level stuff back in the day. So for me, I've built my muscle. I do my cardio. I diet right. I can get ripped. I don't use diuretics. But it takes time. And unless you teach your body how to do it that way, you become addicted to the chemicals. You become addicted to the high.
The quick fix.
And if you have it, it's not really a quick fix. Because if it was, 3/4 of Las Vegas would look like the rest of us sitting here right now.
Gotcha.
Because you have no idea. LVAC and all these other gyms, with all due respect, it would be the top lineup of the Olympia.
Jeez, that's amazing.
The diet and the training is a big part. It's all of it. The addiction issue, if you are genetically addicted to something, you got the markers, you in recovery, you may want to be careful going down this path.
Gotcha.
If you do a show and you've not done this before, and I wrote an article about this for Fashion Fitness magazine, if you are in recovery and you choose to walk this anabolic path, you tell your sponsor, you tell your doctor, you tell your people that when I'm done with this show, I'm going to swing back into being a girl again, which y'all know PMS isn't fun anyway. Multiply that by 10. And you think women are heinous the way we are? Put us on steroids. Sorry. but you talk about some twisted stuff. We'll save that for another show.
Please.
But seriously, this is what I've observed in my 40 years of the sport. And I have people try to argue with me. And I'm like, really? You're a man trying to tell me about my 30 years of anabolic use, et cetera, back in the day? I'm sorry, God bless you, but you don't know. You don't know the psychological ramifications unless you guys don't take your estrogen blockers when your estrogen levels are up, and then you know exactly how we feel.
So let me ask you this. It sounds like to me, though, it was accepted in the sport because, like, for example, I know the little track star that got tested positive for marijuana, and they wouldn't let her run in the Olympics. I mean, that was marijuana. So
that's the Olympics.
Okay, so they don't test you guys, and it's accepted. The only reason it's bad is if you get caught outside by the feds or the.
Well, we do get tested, but the thing about it is, we talked about this, Gina. Remember, we went to the nationals, and
1991.
Yeah, and I turned around. I get this this letter because they had the phone in the letter. They don't have what they have now, and it says you need to drive to the location where the show was at. Go to this hotel. You've been selected to be drug tested, and it was funny because I'm like, how do I keep getting drug tested every show I go to?
You piss somebody off.
And
you're winning too much.
Yeah, I'm like drug tested. Yeah.
Back in the early '90s, because I'd done the AAU Junior America. In '91, the AAU Mr. America, along with the NPC Nationals, decided to have a decision to drug test both. Nobody showed up. No sponsors showed up.
That's what we talked about. I remember that. Yeah.
Of course, the AAU kept going because it's the Amateur Athletic Union and they have multiple sports. But the NPC and the IFB, we're here to create freaks. We are there to create the freakiest, bestest bodies we could ever imagine, synthetically, chemically, something that mankind has never done on the face of this earth ever before.
Gina, hold that thought for a minute. Ladies and gentlemen, we're live at the Andre The Beast Crayton Show. My co-host, Yolanda Smith, and we have a great show.
This is amazing. I'm getting my boots put on. You know how they say that you get taken to school every now and then? I'm in class.
I'm just telling you, don't ask me a bunch of stuff tomorrow when you come to work out. You don't come ask me a bunch of questions tomorrow. I
got a whole bunch I'm going to be asking you. I'm just curious. Okay, Crystal and Amy are figure competitors. Crystal or Amy, one of you come up and share with me, what does it mean to be a figure competitor?
Amy, I think you can take this one. I'm bikini.
Oh, you're bikini. I'm sorry.
Well, we'll ask you the same question on the bikini side point.
Bikini mama? You're bikini too?
So both of you guys can answer that.
As well.
Okay, so let me backtrack. They are bikini competitors. And so that's just meaning what? What are they looking at from a bikini competition? What are the judges looking for there?
It's all about the glutes.
Okay.
Really?
Well, it shouldn't be all about the glutes, but a lot of it is, yes. So Amy and I both compete in tested natural organizations. So we are actually in federations that polygraph and they do drug test the winners. So we submit to those quite frequently. I just did a show September 4th and I had to submit urine for that. So we don't take any steroids or diuretics or growth hormones or anything like that. I confess I'm pretty naive to all of that even. We follow the banned substance list by WADA, which is what your Olympic athletes follow. So anything that's on that list by the anti-doping agency, we are not allowed to take. So it's just all blood, sweat, and tears and a whole lot of not eating ice cream.
Darn.
Hard work.
Yeah, a lot of hard work. So in bikini, what they're looking for is some, muscularity, because it is a bodybuilding show. It's not the Tropicana or Hooters. So we do need to look like we lift.
You're not going for Sports Illustrated, huh?
Exactly. And, we need to be toned, but not have striations. We need to have good conditioning, full muscle bellies when we're on stage. We need to bring beauty is a consideration. So your makeup and your hair and your posing and your presence is a consideration in the way that they score as well. Now, I'm a judge for a lot of the organizations. I believe Amy is also. So that's what they're looking for. But glutes are a huge thing that they do look at.
So they want you to have a nice ass.
Gina, we'll talk about that later.
Yes, ma'am.
We got a story for that.
Yeah, I know. We get that
Is
later.
that the bend over moon thing that you're not?
Well, not too much bending over now. Bikini is actually the least respected, I would say, divisions of the bodybuilding world. And as a posing coach and as a bikini pro, it is one of my goals to change that. So where glutes are a huge consideration, I have decent glutes. I'm a very petite woman. I have a very nice developed chest, and I'm not talking about boobies. I have good pecs. And I find it bothersome that judges don't really care so much about the pecs, just more about the glutes.
Gotcha.
I think in bodybuilding, it should be a completely trained, well-balanced body, front to back and top to bottom, not just your booty.
So let me ask Amy a question. Amy?
Yep.
You guys compete in the natural organization. Why did you go to the natural organization versus the bigger organizations like the NPC and the other natural bodybuilding associations that some of the IFBB pros and NPC pros have switched over to? What was your reason for sticking with that particular organization?
Health. For me, it was all about health. I just felt like I'd put my body through enough in the past that if I was going to do this, I was going to do it naturally, that I was in it for the long haul. And I didn't want to look at more health issues later down the line than I already had.
That makes sense.
Let me ask Cheryl. Cheryl still with us? Cheryl?
Yeah, I'm here. I just put myself on mute.
Let me ask you a question. You've been in the sport. You definitely have overcome some serious obstacles. What are some of the things that, let me put it in a better way. You're a pro. Now, there is a difference between being a professional bodybuilder. What are some of the things that you've encountered that you wish that have impacted you, that you say, why is this taking place?
I think I know more now than I did back then. I think a lot of newbies in this we're led to believe you have to do certain things. You've got to take certain things to enhance your body. And that is true to a point. But knowing now, knowing what I know now, nutrition and weightlifting, like Gina was saying, is number one. It does take years, it does take patience and so on. But I think there's people that are just so like, I want to become a bodybuilder. What can I do? And then there's people go, oh, well, if you take this, this, and this, and you have a whole slew of them, you'll be a bodybuilder like in 12 weeks, and we all know that's crazy. But you see a lot of ads for it and people get sucked into this and you think that's the way. And if it doesn't work for you, is there something wrong with me? Is there something wrong with my body? Some of the things I encountered is because I have a chronic illness, because I'm older, for a while, I believed it was me. It was something that I was doing wrong. My body couldn't, build muscle. So if I had known back then what I know now, I definitely would have taken let's say, a more natural path, and giving it time. But I just didn't know. But this time I am taking almost a natural path. I don't think I could say anything, Gina, so I'm going to keep my mouth shut. But
no, because we're live, I'm just telling you, don't.
Yeah. But,
don't ever put anything in writing. Don't ever say anything you don't want to judge.
That's right. That's right. That's
right.
I
am totally natural.
That's what a judge told me.
Yeah, I am totally natural, and I am just eating like crazy. I'm exercising like crazy, and one secret that I had this prep that I've never done in my life. When I came back and I'm into bodybuilding and I got my plan, I noticed I wasn't eating enough.
Right.
My body was just burning through it. And I swear to you guys, I would eat a box of Ritz a day, 4 sleeves every day.
That sounds
and
like me.
You're thinking I'm crazy, but I go to Publix, they have buy one get one free. I would sit there, and I have a dog, and he's overweight, by the way, because of me. Because I have one, he has one.
You take another box and give it to the dog.
I'm thinking I ate a sleeve too,
and I did that for probably like 2 or 3 months, and guys, my body just flourished, and it was just showing I needed the food because I was working out hard, but on my plan, I wasn't getting enough carbs, and my body knew it. So that's what I started doing. Now I backed off because, of course, I'm in competition prep and I got to be lean. But really it comes down to, if you're going to do stuff, enhance your workouts and your nutrition. That's it. Don't make it the primary source, because your body's resilient. This video that they're showing right now is because I have an ileostomy. I have to protect myself at all times.
Hey, explain to the viewers, Cheryl. Explain to the viewers that's where I want to go with this part with you. Explain to the viewers exactly what that is, how that came about, and more importantly, that's serious, because when you training is heavy, and as much as we do and you guys do, your core is the center to everything.
That is exactly true, and that's why a lot of people have nicknamed me the Walking Miracle, because for everybody's understanding, when they had to remove most of my intestines, there wasn't enough intestines to go to your bottom. Okay. And I'm trying to keep it as clean as possible to go to your bottom. So you can't poop as a normal person. So where do you go? And literally it comes out of my ab. Part of my intestines are sticking out of my abs at all times. And it's very risky because it's even worse than having a hernia. I'm sure some of you experienced a hernia when you live. It can bulge and stuff like that. Well, I'm past that. The intestines are literally out of my abs. And that's what the bag does. It holds the stool there. And you're constantly going. It's like a faucet that drips all day long. So when you eat, for me personally, I may get 15 minutes and then it starts coming out. Where you guys, it could take a whole day to process. I get maybe 10, 15 minutes, and that's as long as my absorption amount is. So I don't absorb any B vitamins or any energy vitamins. I don't absorb a lot just because of the length of intestines that I have. So I have to be careful on my eating. And when it comes to weightlifting, you are 100% right. Your core is key. So when I got back into the gym, I was able to increase my mindset to really focus on my abs. So when I do a squat, I may not do it exactly the way you do it, and you won't even notice it when you're looking at me, but my core is engaged and everything around me is tight, because I know if I go too fast or too much weight, those intestines, I hate to say it, could pop out and put me back in the hospital.
And people don't understand, because of that, this is real crucial for you, because you got to have the right nutrients, the balance of those energy vitamins and so forth, to actually maintain that level of muscle and the ability to go on. But my next question is for any one of you ladies, what's your end game? I mean, we want to get that pro status, but clearly, I'll start with you, Cheryl, since you're already on the phone. What's your end game here? What? Because let's be real. Let's go here.
Okay.
Let's start out.
End game.
How much?
Okay, I know where you're going with this. And for me, my end game is not to get sponsored. is not to become like, I would love to like compete in Olympia. Don't get me wrong. I'm still going to try to go for those things, to compete at better shows, Olympia and stuff like that. But my end game really is to keep inspiring people. That's the main reason why I keep doing it. Like Gina was saying before, there's things that happen in our life, and bodybuilding makes us feel empowered. Mm-hmm. And it does for me. It increases my health. I can't imagine where I'd be today after all the illnesses, and everything that I've been through. Imagine after I got out of the hospital and I said, I give up bodybuilding. I give up even going to the gym. I would probably be so sick right now. And I can't afford that. This is my life. I can't afford that. So that's why I went back to bodybuilding. I went back to clean eating. So everything that I eat goes to where it needs to. I can't afford to have Taco Bell every once in a while or a cheat meal, because those are empty calories and they won't keep me healthy. So my end game, again, is just to inspire people who've been through hell, who've been through traumatic experiences, and they look at me and they go, look at her.
Exactly.
She's still fighting. And that's my end game.
Ladies,
until I die, that is my end game.
Hold on 1 second. This is Andre The Beast Crayton Show.
We are live. If you are watching this, I am sure you are getting nuggets on just how to really be able to overcome adversity, obstacles, anything that is put in your way, because we got 4 badass women on the show that are talking about their story, sharing how they've been empowered to really take it to the next level. Beast mode on steroids.
Literally.
You can't say that.
We can't say that.
You can't say that
No,
on live.
I don't mean they're taking steroids. I'm talking about beast mode.
Those are classified documents. So let's go to Amy. Amy, what's your end game here?
Mine's a lot more than a pro card. For me, mine is to really build my empire, Amy Gaskins Fitness, and to change lives. I am so passionate about bodybuilding. I not only coach, compete, but I also do hair and makeup for most of the Florida shows. So I just really want to change lives with bodybuilding. I just feel like this community is everything to me, and anything I can do to change lives and help one person, to me, that's what it's all about.
Crystal, you're up.
Same as Amy. It's when you're, and you know this, Andre, you were in it. The community is worth everything. It's not about show day. I am a pro. I've been a pro for years now. Mm-hmm. It's not about the pro card. It's not even about show day. It's about the personal challenge, the regimen. It's about the community. My best friend, people I call family, I met in bodybuilding. It's even when I stop competing, I will continue to stay involved to help promote and perpetuate this healthy lifestyle, and to help people build themselves up, their confidence, and to bloom. I also have a business that's involved in fitness, team synergy and science. I do my posing, quarter turn posing. I thoroughly and passionate enjoy teaching women to be confident on stage and watching them go from these awkward ladies in heels and not being confident in their own minds and bodies, and being able to see them grow by the time they get on stage, and the confidence and the way they shine. It's amazing. And it's not selfless. It's not selfless at all. I get so much pleasure out of seeing them do that. It fills my heart to know that I had a hand in their journey. And that's my end game, for it to constantly be a part of my life. My son has even competed on stage at a show that I used to promote. And he, follows me and looks up to me, and I lead the way for him. So I have to keep doing what needs to be done and doing it right, and not taking, the shortcuts, and working hard and all that, and so that he can grow up to do the same. He's 25 though, so he's grown up, but
it's still your baby.
Exactly.
It's still my baby. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Gina.
So no end game at all.
I think the end game is the fact that you like what you're doing and you got what you got. You got your pro card. You're helping people do what they need to do. You're empowering people.
I love it.
You ladies will definitely do it. But I got to hear what Gina's doing because she's doing a lot of stuff, Gina.
Yeah, well, she
Gina,
just
what's your
end game.
Gina,
She
what
just started
was your
back
end
up.
game? Yeah,
She
you started back up.
I've been doing this 40 years. My end game was basically to look like this by the time I'm 60, and I still do. I never in my life expected to be able to get on stage and compete. I still leg press 1,000 pounds. There's things I've done where I have been able to keep this body in the most immaculate condition ever. And honestly, I do eat a lot of crappy food right now because I am off season. But I have 40 years of muscle built behind me, so my metabolism, my body works a little different.
Yeah.
Anyway, out here in Las Vegas, we are the Mecca. Everybody's out here. Iris Kyle just opened Powerhouse Gym. Flex Lewis has Dragon's Lair. Everybody is out here right now, except the people in Florida. I've been teaching. y'all took the Olympia this year, goddamn. We're gonna get it back anyway. What I've been doing out here, I do have Gina Jones Fitness. I am a personal trainer, but I work with people who don't want to compete, but yet want to look like we do.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Out here in Vegas, you got to have a hot body to keep your job. I mean, the cocktail waitresses, you name it, down the line.
Hospitality.
You get this is Sin City. You get the strippers, the bouncers, you name it. You got to have a good body, but they don't want to compete. They don't want to get on stage. So I've taken the opportunity to teach them how we trained old school.
I like the old school.
Teach them how to build the muscle, get lean, stay that way, carb load and deplete, or whatever they need to do for any special events or modeling engagements. So I've taken everything I've learned from the sport and I'm wrapping it into a whole different type of fitness. I do help people with contests, but because there's so many top pros out here, the best of the best, I leave competition prep to them. Mm-hmm. So I work with the general public. I work with law enforcement. I'm getting them connected with youth intervention programs with different facilities here. I had the honor to sit down with a sergeant and another officer with a gentleman, Michael Teagues, who owns Naked Athletics here. They're trying to get a community center and going and working on a youth intervention program. It was an amazing thing to put that together a few months ago. I work really close with the people here in my city. Las Vegas is a very small Western town, and everybody knows everybody. Mm.
Everybody knows your name. Okay.
Everybody. And I run around my little flannel shirts and my hat, kind of like what you saw in the picture there with the American flag riding the horse. I'm a little cowgirl at heart.
I'm going to come to town and go, where's Gina Jones? Where's Gina?
A matter of fact,
Gina. Trust me, you'd be surprised. It's kind of scary.
Wait a minute. We're going to Vegas pretty soon.
I know. I said we can go up in there talking about where's Gina?
Any of you ladies, when you get out here, let me know. But I've dealt in the underground in the world, in the industry, in the subculture, the bodybuilding community. I was one of the first performers on her biceps cam. We'll have another show and talk about this. But there's a subculture in our sport, and most of you know it. Some of you don't.
Is that the self-trafficking or something?
In Las Vegas. It's levels of what they basically call some levels of sex trafficking. And but you got to understand, we create these perfect bodies. People cannot buy what we created. You can't go to the plastic surgeon. I mean, you can get your ab implants and you can get all the other stuff, but they don't flex and they don't move, you know. You guys know what I'm talking about. People that get the implants on stage at a bodybuilding show.
Yeah.
But what we have, people want. And ladies, you know, when we're in the top condition, you can walk down the street and everybody's like, oh my God. You post pictures on the internet, every guy comes, God bless you guys, I love you.
Your poor DM is flooded, huh?
But I teach normal people how to do what we do without doing everything that we do.
Gotcha.
And that's my little niche out here. And I also work with mental health out here. I'm pretty much the go-to person, as some of you heard earlier. When they come off their drugs, they know to call me. Even though if their coach cut them loose, I can usually walk them through, get them to the right people, get them to the right place. They know I talk brutal truth. I don't hold back. I walked it. I did it. Everything you guys read on the internet, most of us did back in the 80s and early 90s. You guys are here because of us, and we have a lot of knowledge, and that knowledge is what I'm going to be sharing over the next year or two.
Mm-hmm. And can I just chime in real quick and say, I absolutely, love your energy, and I absolutely love your honesty. I can't even begin to tell you how much. You're awesome.
Thank you. If we weren't on live Facebook in the first time when we have, I think we're going to have another podcast.
We are.
I'm going to talk about things that nobody talks about because I'm not afraid to talk about it. I was introduced to the session industry back in the early 90s, mid 90s in the underground, where guys like to wrestle us and they worship us. We're gods and goddesses. They call us Amazon muscle goddesses. It's just like, really?
Gina, we saving that one. Gina, we're saving that one.
I'm a human being. Why are you worshiping me? Oh, you're horny.
Gina, we're saving that for the private episode, the pay-per-view.
That's exactly.
That sounds like some giddy up.
That's how honest I am with this stuff.
Okay, yeah. We might want to cut this feed about right now.
We're gonna call it Beast After Dark.
Well, I put stickers on my pictures.
You know what, guys? We about ready to wrap up, but you're right. We're going to do another episode and have you ladies back on, and we're going to get really in depth with that topic because it's a longer topic, and I really want to address that, but it's going to take a little bit more time. But ladies, thank you so much for being on the Andre The Beast Crayton show. You will be back because this is the Expendable edition. You're going to be back. It was a great show. Ladies, thanks for being here. This is the Andre The Beast Crayton show with my co-host Yolanda.
Co-host
Yolanda. We like to thank Gina. Who the girls? Amanda, Cheryl,
Crystal, Amy. Woohoo!
Thank you for being on the show. This is Andre The Beast Crayton.
Show.